رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله تعالى اختارني واختار لي أصحابه أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. We begin in the name of Allah Azza wa Jal once again, our creator, our nourisher, and we also begin by sending our durood and peace and blessings and salutations, salawat and salam upon our beloved messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My brothers and sisters, in tonight's short talk, inshallah, I would like to highlight some of the common factors and some of the common qualities that the Sahaba radiallahu anhum used to have among themselves. And also, I will also share with you tonight the story of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu ta'ala anhu. First and foremost, in regards to the Sahaba, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam says that Inna Allah ta'ala ikhtarani, that verily Allah has chosen me to be a prophet. وَاخْتَارَ لِي أَصْحَابَهُ, and He has chosen these companions for me. So since Allah Azza wa Jalla has chosen them for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this itself is enough of a boast, and this itself is praiseworthy that they are close to Allah Azza wa Jalla, because Allah did not choose you and I. He chose who? The Sahaba radiallahu anhum. So what rights do you have, what rights do I have to talk against them or to look at some of the flaws and leave out many of their virtues and blessings? Now, وَأَلْزَمَهُمْ كَلِمَةَ التَّقْوَى. But we fail to forget, as I explained last week, that at the end of the day, they were human beings also. وَأَلْزَمَهُمْ كَلِمَةَ التَّقْوَى. Allah mentions in regards to the Sahaba, and He says, He made them stick to the word of piety. In other words, Allah says that they are pious and the people of taqwa. Why? Because I made sure that the taqwa was instilled into their hearts and it was deeply embedded into their hearts. Subhanallah. Did Allah say that in regards to you and I, that us here in Hillside Islamic Center in New Hyde Park are the people of taqwa? No, He didn't say that. But rather He said in regards to who? He said in regards to the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum. And there are so many stories, my brothers and sisters, that we can share with you tonight and that we can go over. Specifically the story of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu, and the Sahaba radiallahu anhum were such that just by mentioning in regards to them, which Allah has mentioned, that Allah has given them the taqwa, this enough, like I said, is a boast. But each and every single one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ had an unwavering faith. Their faith was as solid as a mountain. It was unshakable. So Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu clearly illustrated that. At the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, when the battle between the Muslims and the Romans broke out, the Romans managed to capture some of the individuals of the Muslim army. Some of them were Sahaba, but many of them were not the Sahaba, they were of the newer generation, the Tabi'un. So the Romans, they realized that they caught Abdullah ibn Hudhafa. Of course, the names were spreading that he's one of the greatest companions of the Prophet ﷺ. So they took Abdullah ibn Hudhafa in front of the Roman king, in front of their leader, the one in charge of the entire Roman Empire, of the entire Christianity. So he thought to himself that instead of killing Abdullah ibn Hudhafa, let me make him a Christian, and because of this, when he goes back to Mecca and Medina, we will be able to tell the people that, look, your companion that you used to look up to, a companion of Muhammad, has denounced Islam and he has entered into Christianity. So he decided to make him an offer which was probably very difficult to refuse at that time also. Of course, in today's time also. He said to him, who's he? Who's saying to who? The Roman king is saying to Abdullah ibn Hudhafa that I will give you my daughter in marriage. And at the same time, I will also give you a share in this kingdom of mine. So you will own partially the entire Roman Empire. And you will rule over these warriors who are in my control. And you will, Allah knows, have so much money that you cannot even imagine. So Abdullah ibn Hudhafa said to him that, listen, if you give me the entire kingdom of yours, and if you were to give me the entire kingdom of the Arabs, because Islam at that time had become, or it was on its way of becoming one of the world's superpower, I will still not denounce my Islam. So he became infuriated at this and angry, and he said to his guards that take the cross and tie him up. So they took the cross and they tied him up on the cross, and he said to the guards, to the archers, that shoot towards him, but make sure that the arrows do not hit him. So just to scare him. Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu, when he was tied by the cross, it is mentioned in regards to him that he didn't even flinch. He didn't even move. It's as if he had accepted the reality that I will die in the path of Allah, I will die in the name of Allah for the sake of Allah, but you will never ever hear the words of kufr coming out of my mouth. He didn't even flinch, didn't even blink out of fear. So everyone is now impressed at this man's faith. So now, this is of course disgraceful for who? For the Roman king. So the Roman king said, now bring a huge pot with boiling water, according to some of the narrations, with boiling hot oil. So the king took some of the other Muslims who were captured in the army, and he burned them basically alive. And said to Abdullah that, listen, this is going to be your faith if you now do not denounce Islam. Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu did not even move an inch, did not even flinch. And he started to cry all of a sudden. So now the king said, wait, I think I broke his resolution. He said to him, why are you crying? Are you ready to accept Christianity? He said, no, I'm not crying because I'm ready to accept Christianity and that I fear death. I'm crying because I only have one life. I wish that Allah has given me so many lives in exchange for every hair strand. I wish that I had one life and I would give it up for the sake of Allah, come back alive, and then die again for the sake of Allah, come back alive, die again for the sake of Allah. So now the king is now embarrassed in front of Allah knows how many of his followers and his army men and the chief men. So the king said to him that, kiss me on my forehead. This was a sign of basically showing respect whatsoever. That kiss me on the forehead, I will let you go and I will also let the other Muslims go. So Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu then thought to himself that I will rather kiss his forehead, and why would I jeopardize everybody else's life? So he kissed his forehead and they left. When Umar radiallahu anhu met him, he ordered everybody else also that out of respect for Abdullah ibn Hudhafa, that everyone now were standing in line to greet him and to give him salam and to kiss him in his forehead. Subhanallah. Unwavering faith. Even though Allah has mentioned inside the Quran, Man kafara billahi min ba'di iman illa man ukrih, that if you're forced, somebody's holding a gun to your forehead and says denounce Islam, you're permitted to say the words of kufr. Allah says in that instance, but the condition is وَقَلْبُهُ مُطْمَئِنٌ بِالْإِيمَانِ, that his heart is fully content with iman. You're allowed to utter the words of kufr at the time when you are standing in front of death and you know that death is going to be inevitable if you do not utter the words of kufr. Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu's iman was so strong that even though Quran had permitted him to utter the words of kufr, because in his heart he's still a Muslim, he just couldn't admit to the fact that I will utter the words of kufr. He couldn't get himself to utter the words of kufr. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, my brothers and sisters, had this unwavering faith which was as strong and unshakable as a mountain. Now, The Prophet Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anhu says, "Man kana mustannan falyastanna biman qad mat." That if you want to follow someone, follow those who have passed away. In other words, follow the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and he used to advise who? The next generation. That do not look at those who are alive right now in today's time, but rather make the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam your role model. Now, there are three qualities which are mentioned in regards to the Sahaba, that many of them had these three qualities. Of course, we hear that they used to perform tahajjud, fast, and recite the Quran, and they used to donate for the sake of Allah, and etc. and etc. There's no explanation that is needed for that. But there were three qualities that all of them also had, which many of us, we overlook. Number one is abarraha qulubaha, that in this ummah, they were the most righteous. Their hearts were clean. The second one was they had deep knowledge. Today, our knowledge is not deep. We just probably know the translation, for those of us who know the Arabic language, but we actually do not know the secrets of the Quran. We have no idea about what transpired at the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. You know, whatever is famous in the community or whatever we grew up with, we limit our knowledge to that. We do not want to excel and learn even more and go into the depths of it. So one habit that they had was that they used to work on their hearts and keep it as clean as possible by being in Masjid Nabawi with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second one was because us today, we think that we're Mr. Know-it-all and I'm the most perfect person in the entire community. I don't need any work on myself. I am worthy enough to become a leader. Why? Because I'm pious enough. This is our mindset today. And I'm knowledgeable enough, so therefore, I do not need to learn more. The third quality that they had, which is very important in today's time, that they had the least formalities. Now, Mullah Ali Qari, rahimahullah, one of the greatest scholars of Islam, who has written many books, he wrote that this sentence, أَقَلُّهَا تَكَلُّفًا, meaning that they had the least formalities, is of two types. The first one is in their actions. The second one is in their knowledge. Now, just to give you a quick background of Mullah Ali Qari rahimahullah, who was one of the greatest scholars of Islam, when he went to the Kaaba and he performed Umrah, as he was performing the Tawaf, he was circulating the Kaaba in the wrong place. You know, he was doing the Tawaf wrong. Whereas he was the one who had written many books how to perform Hajj and Umrah. So one of the youngsters gave him a book and he said to him, "Shaykh, listen, read this book, follow the directions of this book, and you will be able to perform the tawaf and go to the sa'i and go to Safa and Marwa. You will know exactly where to go." When he opened the book, the author of the book was who? Himself. He himself was the author of the book. And he has written, you know, a masterpiece when it comes to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. There is a book called Mishkatul Masabih, and he has written basically the tafsir and the explanation of that entire book, which is a few volumes long. So he's not an ordinary scholar. So he says basically, when you analyze the lives of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the first one is that they had the least formalities in terms of their actions. For example, if they had to walk barefoot, the Sahaba would walk barefoot. For example, if they had to pray salah on a hard ground, they would perform the salah on a hard ground and not complain that where's the carpet? Or why is the carpet dirty? Right? Or spread something. I need something soft to stand on. I can't sleep on the ground. I need to have the comfort of my bed. Right? We're spoiled. So he, rahimahullah, says that in their actions, they had the very least formalities. For example, they would eat and drink from every cup and every utensil, as long as it was from one of their Muslim brothers. But today, oh, he put his mouth on that cup, I can't drink from that cup, right? Or he ate from that plate, I need to serve myself in another plate. Whereas they used to live a very comfortable life, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een. Now, in terms of their knowledge, it was said also that they would only talk about whatever was concerning them. We like to get involved in everyone's business. We want to know about everyone. Unfortunately, the most pious person is also guilty of this. And also in regards to them, that it is said that they would say, I don't know. If they did not know the answer to the question, they would simply say, I don't know. But us, what do? The first thing that we do is, I think this is the answer. Who cares what you think? Right? We just can't admit and say, I don't know the answer to this question. We just can't. Maybe it's the ego. Allah knows what it is. And also the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they would refer others to the other companions and their other contemporaries who had a higher status in knowledge than them. They wouldn't feel shy. If I don't know the answer to the question, or I'm unable to remove this difficulty that the brother is going through or that the sister is going through, I will just say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't. But I will not inform them to go to such and such scholar, or to go to such and such community, to go to such and such person. He or she will be able to remove your difficulty. Why? Because this makes me seem very inferior, that I wasn't able to do anything for them. Then they will have more respect than me. In today's time, it is only about I, me and me, no one else. So the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum did not have this quality. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant me and all of us the ability and the tawfiq to act upon whatever was just said. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakumullah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Ameen.